a lot of new name or new faces in the group, and I wanted to just give a little update or reminder of the history of myself and how I got into real estate, and then talk about how I am different than other realtors. So I spent most of my adolescence in the San Juans, growing up on Lopez Island. Went to Seattle University, dropped out, hated college. Got my pilot's license in '93 and worked toward a degree in aviation from Green River Community College and Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. I got hired at a company called Allied Signal, doing basically aircraft flight service, so running flight plans, giving weather briefings, that sort of thing. Did that for a couple of years, and then went to a company called National Charter. Was hired to run their charter department. So I went into a job that taught me a lot more about project management, contract law, negotiating, stuff like that. After a little while, 2001 happened, as you all know, to 9/11, and the aviation industry took a big hit. The writing was sort of on the wall, and I started thinking about what I should do, and had my career epiphany. I was hanging out with a friend who was in real estate at the time, and I was overhearing her dealing with a problem transaction. She was on the phone for maybe 20 minutes, talking to her client, the opposing agent, escrow, the inspector, the other agent again, her client again, and just basically herding cats to get people to do what they didn't really want to do, and get what needed to get done so everyone could get where they were going. And I had this moment where I realized this is exactly what I do every day in my job in aviation, is project manage, get people to do stuff they don't want to do, and on time so that everyone can get where they want to go, and that looks exactly like a real estate transaction. So I made the switch. So let's talk a little bit about what's different than me than other agents. There is a minimum requirement of continuing education for any licensed agent in Washington. I regularly go way past that continuing education. I'm sort of a dork that way. I do clock hour classes like nobody's business, and often have double what I need. Ordinary agents might work part-time. They might work full-time, but often they're not really involved in their office culture, which makes a huge difference in someone's career. I spend 10 plus hours a month teaching and participating in education in my office. I run a skills class where we literally practice how we communicate with our clients and other agents with each other, because I don't think practicing on my clients when they're in the middle of the biggest investment experience they'll ever have is really appropriate. So we like to practice with each other. In addition to those classes, I spend lots and lots of hours a week coaching other agents in my office, answering their questions, just generally helping out to make sure that we have a high quality of service in general, which helps me and everybody else, and definitely keeps me sharp. So let's talk about customer service. I want to differentiate that I'm talking about good real estate agents. It's easy to compare yourself to crappy people in competition with you. It'd be easy for me to say what terrible agents do, but the reality is that there are a ton of good agents out there. Most people you talk to will know 2 or 3 good agents that'll do a great job. But there's still a lot of difference between just doing a good job in real estate and being really exceptional. So just for example, what a normal agent does for sellers, they'll do a market analysis, tell you what to list your house for, give you some advice on how to stage, take some photos, put it in the MLS, put a for sale sign out there. You might have a flyer that looks like this. Decent, it'll get the job done. They'll probably send you a Christmas card or a calendar down the way. There are like 4 pages here of what I do for sellers. So I always start with a really in-depth consultation. Finding out what people's priorities and what their goals are goes a long way to making sure they're successful. I deliver seller's guides and make sure they're well educated. I do a walkthrough, take pictures, take notes, make sure I'm being really accurate about how I do my research. I help educate people on the market. Instead of telling them what to list their house for, I help educate them on the market as a whole so that they can make good decisions about how they want to place their own houses in the market. Help them determine what repairs and upgrades they need to do, stage their house, hire a professional photographer, list it on the MLS and do all the normal stuff. Marketing, my marketing is much higher quality than most agents. This is an example of one of my flyers recently that is definitely branded, but more importantly has big professional color photos and lots of information. I send postcards out to everybody around them because neighbors neighbors like to sell their neighbors' houses. I always do an individual website. This is a huge deal for viral marketing. I get a ton of traffic from these websites, many more clicks than the Windermere website itself gets, and I get a lot of calls on these to help sell people's houses. After that, I give people really regular in-depth reports about how things are going marketing-wise, obviously present offers, help them understand negotiating strategy and pick, do what's going to be best for them. Make sure the buyer's qualified. Seems like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised. Negotiate inspection, help coordinate bids and repairs, and help them with other resources like you guys for everything they need from soup to nuts, getting them moved, and then really continue to be a resource indefinitely. I have very few clients that I don't talk to at least several times a week, even if they didn't buy or sell for the last 10 years. So let's talk about buyers. A regular buyer's agent is a little easier than sellers. They'll recommend a lender for sure. They want to work with the lender they work with. They will show them some houses. They'll write and negotiate an offer when the buyer picks a house. They'll recommend an inspector and be there because they have to. Negotiate that if necessary. Close the transaction and probably send that Christmas card or calendar. I do recommend a lender, as you all know, and not only do I recommend a lender, but I also help them understand what the heck he's talking about, which isn't always straightforward. Not everybody has a brain for numbers. Not everybody understands, the financial markets. So sometimes I get to boil that down for people. Again, always conduct a lengthy consultation. I just heard a statistic this week that the number of minutes of your consultation directly relates to how long and arduous a process a buyer or seller has. If you front load that with good education and good coaching, they will just have a much smoother process that's much less anxiety. I educate them on the process in the marketplace so that they can act quickly and confidently. Huge deal in this market. It's crazy for buyers right now, really important. I help save them time by narrowing their search. I'm not going to show them every house that's listed on the MLS. That's ridiculous. Most of those houses don't fit their criteria, and there's no need for them to take all that time off work to do it. I'll do a market analysis on any home they're considering to make sure they don't pay too much. Even when they're competing and escalating, it's important to make sure that people are making smart decisions when it comes to investment. I'll write and negotiate offers and help people compete in a fast-moving market. I still have an over 90% success rate in multiple offer situations. That's been consistent my entire career. I'm really good at them. It's something I don't mind bragging about because it's not an easy skill to have, so certainly that's a good skill. Attend the inspection, help maintain perspective in the inspection. People get freaked out. It's really overwhelming, helping them understand what's important, what's not important, and what you can worry about later. And then helping manage the lender, escrow, all of that process, make sure the buyers are staying on track so that they can get Rob what he needs and get things done on time. And then if they let me, I like to throw a housewarming party because that's super fun. So these things all are definitely examples of ways that I go above and beyond. It continues here. What you get is that you get a more educated agent when you refer me, someone who provides significantly more comprehensive services, and somebody who's able to communicate and educate a client in order to help them get where they want to go in a way that's much smoother, much more fun, and super successful. So thank you very much, Domenica, Lovagalia.